Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope you all are doing well. And first of all, thank you so much for being here. And secondly, I'm more than excited to tell you my story of my first job, my experiences, and what I learned from it and what I hated about it. So without wasting our time, let's first introduce myself and then move on to the further things so that you have a better idea how things were for me and how they can be for you. So I'm Alishba, and 18 years old, who will be turning 19 soon, inshallah, hopefully. So I belong to Pakistan, a country in the South Asia, and yeah, I'm the part of a Desi culture, the brown Desi culture, where people working or the young adults or teenagers working at the age of 18, 19, and 20 or onward are considered to be, having difficulties, financial difficulties, or that they are having some responsibilities to fulfill. So it's not a common thing over here for young adults or the teenagers to work out around. You don't find teenagers working part time at the KFCs, McDonald's, or stuff. So things are totally different over here, okay? So, especially if a girl is doing something like this, that's considered so much of a sin, I believe, because nobody's in support of it, and they have that simple thing that why you have to do that. And if there are some, well enough families and they can support their children, they think of it that, oh yeah, man, we are supporting you and we are paying everything for you. Why do you have to work out and go around having your, spending out your time doing things that won't be relevant for you or stuff like that? And to be really honest, as you can tell by the my first job at the 18 years, I'm not in the support of this culture, because even if you can feed your children and all that, you still have to allow them to take a glimpse of what it is like into the practical world, so that after they graduate and they are not doing their first ever job in the history, being 25 or 26 years old and not knowing how the world works and how the practical life is. So that's why, if you're watching this, just support your children or anyone who is around you. If they're interested to do that, just go out and have some practical job experience. It will be good for your resume as well, and you will be able to learn a lot of things, as I learned as well. So this was with the intro part, and yeah, so let's move on to what I worked as. To be really honest, I expected my first job to be starting at like 24, 22, 23, because as of the culture over here, you're not supposed to work at all, and even especially if you're a girl, you're supposed to be doing household chores and not any other things. You're not supposed to have any of your dreams or your work career, mostly. Of course, there are exceptions to everything, but mostly this is the case over here. So me, I always wanted to be, have my own thing, be independent, and of course, I have some bigger goals ahead of me, and that's why I had to start earlier, as early as possible. So, right after my 12th grade exams or my high school, I just applied for university, and to be really honest, I get rejected. So I, of course, had to take a gap year because all the exam admissions for the other courses were closed. So I eventually had to take a gap year. In the start days, I was so sort of depressed, not for the fact that I got rejected, but for the fact that I had to stay at home, because due to COVID, you already have been staying at home for the last year, and now another year you have to stay at home. That's so much burdensome for me. So I thought of going through a lot of things and doing something at my own, so that at least I can fulfill my dreams, or I should at least have something of my own, so that if I'm starting earlier, inshallah, I will be able to, become successful more earlier than others as well. So that was the case. I just started looking for some sort of job. I started this YouTube channel as well, that it might grow someday, and which I believe strongly that it is going to be. So I started looking for some sort of job. I tried surveys, and I tried what they call it. I tried out surveys. I tried out, there were some certain games that they said they will be paying you, but that didn't work out. And then I tried to get involved in many other activities. I went to driving school and all that stuff, but still I was just looking for something, some source of income that could at least keep me involved, give me some sort of practical experience, and of course, I need some cash, man. I have a lot of things to do, and I think to rely for them on your parents is so much of burden on them, because, man, if you have to go travel the world. Just don't depend on your parents. So do something of your own, and that's what was my core reason to do that. I'm a travel lover, so that now that money is flowing in, inshallah, I'm going to travel as well. So that was my background story. So after looking for a job, I eventually came across this opportunity. My friend told me that there is this company named Rosie Academy. They'll be training you for a VA or appointment setter, and then they will be placing you with other companies, international companies or international clients, and you will get paid eventually. But the thing was, I thought this isn't going to work out either because, all the previous things didn't work. So I had that little negative attitude inside me, but still I went for it. So I started it in the March, and now it's June. Let's first discuss that what is a VA or appointment setter. So pretty much a VA or appointment setter is something like this. Yeah, a do is something like this, but the difference is that it's in the electronic form. You just have to go to people, ask them if they're interested, and if they're interested, that's a good thing for you. If they're not, you just have another rejection. You will be sending out like hundreds of messages on a daily basis, and only one or two will be responding, and then out of one and two, maybe one is interested in buying your service or stuff. So that was a hectic of a job for me at the starting level. But then eventually I got placed with their Rosie Academy a bit on because they place the trained VAs or the appointment setters with international company. But I got offered a role with themselves, the Rosie Academy. So I'm working as a appointment setter slash virtual assistant for Rosie Academy. So that's it. So let's begin how my first month worked out. So at start I thought that this was so burdensome, and I started to work through it, but I just had this thing that at least bear with it for 1 month and just check it out that whether it's going to pay or not. So that's why I just struggled through it, and I just took it for 1 month at least. I just kept on going and going and going. Even there were times in between that when I thought about just quitting and just leave everything because it was so burdensome on me. I don't know what was it. Either it was some burnout or some stress or whatever. So that was for the starting days, but eventually I got better. You get used to stuff. So that happened. Other portion of the video, that what did I learn from this, okay? But let's divide it into two portions, that what did I learn personally and what did I learn professionally. So as for the professional stuff, I learned a lot of things, man. First of all, I got experience on what exactly is a virtual assistant, how do we work as a virtual assistant, and what are the key points that you can go through. After that, this was the basic thing that I of course had to learn for being a VA. But after that, we had an interview with our boss before placing us into the international clients, right? So he trained us for the tips and tricks for the interview, that how you have to perform an interview. And I believe that was the most, important piece of knowledge for me, which I can use for, my further interviews coming up. So thank you so much, my boss, for teaching me all. So yeah, I came, and during my training, I also came across many useful stuff which I didn't know existed. So first of them was Slack. Slack is basically a workspace app for the companies where you can keep people in a space or manage them and reach out to them using a single thing. And then after that, I came across Loom. So Loom is basically a screen recording app for laptops. You can record your screen, and you can also record your screen along with your little face with this. Yeah. Apart from the apps, I also learned about public speaking things, because in the end of the month, we had my boss had a different idea, that how about we offer virtual assistants with the virtual assistant services with a video. Like, what if we provide people with virtual assistants that can be reaching out their clients, sending them little videos. So doing that, I got a lot of experience working in front of camera, and my confidence boosted up, and I got to learn. I learned speaking fluently without breaking in between. So that was a wholesome experience in the long term. Now let's move to the personal ones. Of course, there were others, but those are enough for you. Then, what are the things I learned in my personal? Sorry for that. What are the things that I learned in my personal life? I had so much disorganized routine, sleep routine. I would be sleeping so late and then waking up so late and have no goals or no organization in my life. But due to this job, of course, I had a perfect or a settled routine that I have to do this and this and this. So I started to become more of organized for myself. And yeah, that I got paid for the first time. So it was a big achievement for me to take a start at this age and to start earning at this age, even if it's less, of course, because my parents are doing everything for me, but I will be using that for all the other things. So and yeah, so I got a sense of achievement for myself, and as that it worked out, I just made the achievement of getting a job and getting paid for it. It has boosted my self-confidence or my personal self-belief and self-esteem that I really do can make things happen. And that's why I'm so sure that this YouTube is going to work out as well, even though I have lesser subscribers and viewers at this time, but they're eventually going to increase, and one day I will be having a greater audience for myself. And there are also many other things that I want to do, and I'm now more confident about them that they're going to work out because I can make it happen. So that was for my personal and professional achievements or improvements or lessons I learned from this job. The day I received my salary, I was so happy. I just sent him this text. You can see that on the screen. So the most exciting part, yeah, what did I do with my earning? To be really honest, it's not that much. I mean, like, it's enough for me. It is more than the average wage that people get in my country. But I do want to earn more. So at this point in my life, it's enough. But I hope to earn more so that I can chill out more. And this money, I'll be using that for a little bit things I have. I will be using that for the long awaited parasailing. I have always wanted to do that. So I'll be using it for that, and I'll be taking my parents out for a treat from my first ever salary. I'm going to do some charity and then save a little bit of it and spend a little bit of it throughout the month until the next one arrives. So that's it for my experience with Rosie. There were many cool people, and I got to learn a lot of stuff from it. And it's a good enough company and all. So if you're looking to just work for it or hire some, or use their services, just go for it. Hope you like this video. Just drop me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and share it to your friends.